Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for watching. In this one, I wanted to give a bit of encouragement to those who never dated before. Yes, there are people who have never dated before, ever, at all, period, whatsoever. They could be of any age, 18, 35, 60. They're in their 90s and they've never dated before. They're over 100 and they've never dated before. There are some people who actually literally never dated before at all. This is a bit of encouragement for them, or you if that's you. So, there's a reason I felt like I had to give this encouragement. Most people have dated before, and most people assume that we've all dated before, but that's not true. And most people might insist, yes, it is true, when it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, we have all dated when we haven't, but they're just going to keep insisting that we all have when not all of us have. Oh, what's wrong with that person? Like that one lone particular person. There's something wrong with him. What's wrong with what did he do like that? So, like he's mentally ill or something. So this is why I felt like I needed to give encouragement, because no, not everyone in human history has dated. There are some people throughout human history who never dated before at all. They went life and wound up dying having actually never dated before, and people were just, well, what was wrong with him? Okay, next, like that. So the encouragement is, it's okay that you never dated before. So let me say that again for the people in the back. And I mean both sides, the folks who never dated before and the folks who are wondering what their problem is for having not dated before. It's okay that you never dated before. People act like it's not okay. There's something wrong with you if you never dated before. No, if you never dated before, it's just a fact. Like 1 + 1 = 2 is just a fact. There's nothing inherently right or wrong about it. It's just a fact. It's okay that you never dated before. Just like it's okay if you move to a different state. It's okay that you work at McDonald's. It's okay. Whatever is going on, that's okay. It's okay that you never dated before. And as I've already mentioned, people think that there's something wrong with you, that there's red flags with you for having never dated before, especially by whatever age they say, and let's say by 30. There's not something wrong with you. There are no red flags. That's just them insisting there's something wrong with you. That's just them thinking there are red flags. No, there are not red flags with you for having never dated before. They're a red flag for thinking that you have red flags for having never dated before. That's the red flag. The fact that you never dated before is not a red flag. The red flag is that people think that there's a red flag. That's the red flag. No, there's not something wrong with you for having never dated before. What's wrong is that people think that there's something wrong with you. That's what's wrong. So don't fall into their judgmental way of thinking. Oh, there's something wrong with me. Oh, I have, half of all red flags in existence are me because no. People are just like being judgmental. So if you got tired and fed up over it and you completely gave up the idea that you're ever gonna date, especially with all these negative, judgmental, stereotypical assumptions that people insist on thinking and throwing in your face, fine, I get it. You do get fed up. You do get tired of it. There comes a point where you're like, you know what? Fine, forget it. That happens. Okay, fine. Or it could be that if you're not, you might be that one person who all of that made you want to date all the more. Like, oh, I'm 50 and I've always wanted children and I've always wanted to be in a relationship. I've always that some people stuff like that makes them wish they could do it all the more. So there are reasons that people never dated before. Yes, folks, there are reasons that people... Well, first of all, there are people who actually have never dated before, ever in their life, however old they are. And yes, there are reasons that people never dated before, legitimate reasons. Okay, well, maybe with a couple of people, there might be a red flag with that particular person. There might be something wrong with that particular person. But in general, you cannot say that. Yes, there are reasons, not excuses, reasons that people never dated before. It's not that there's something wrong with them. One reason is the person's just not interested. And I don't mean they got fed up and gave up. I mean, from birth, they just weren't interested. Some people really just aren't interested. Like, you might just not be interested in moving to a particular city or out of the city that you live in. Maybe you're just not interested in seeing plays on stage, like the Phantom of the Opera, like that. Nobody's required to want to date, and nobody's required to date. Some people really just aren't interested in dating at all. Another thing is bad luck. Maybe no one is interested in them, and it's not because they did something. Folks just aren't interested in them, period. It could be that the person doesn't know anyone. Yeah, you've met people and you've seen folks around town, you work with people, but you might be able to call them by name and you say good morning to them every day when you see them. But do you really know a person where, yeah, this is my friend so-and-so from middle school, and you're 35 years of age now and you still talk to the person, you invite each other over for barbecue on Labor Day, where you actually know the person. Not just you recognize them, seeing them around town. No, I mean, do you actually know the person personally? Like this is Deacon so and so from the church I attend, like that. Some people don't know anyone, or some people just did not meet the right one. They might have met some really good people. Well, maybe I would go ahead and date that person if this, if that. But they just haven't met the right one. And then it could be that no one is available. Maybe everyone they meet is already married. Maybe there's more of one gender than the other. So like maybe you live in a town of 10,000 people, 8,500 of you are men and 1,500 are women. So that leaves 6,500 men who don't have anyone to choose because there's only 1,500 women to choose from. Like that. Or else maybe much of the population is above 60 years of age, where the people who are looking to be married, they make up 10% of the population, and they're around 20 years old. So 10% of the population is 18 to 21, and they're the ones looking to date. But 90% of the population is 60 and over. That's not going to happen. So there are legitimate reasons, not excuses, actual legitimate reasons why people might have never dated before. It's not always and every time a red flag. You've never dated by age 30, age 40. There's a red flag. Something wrong with you. The fact that the person never dated before in itself is not a red flag. The red flag is that you think it's a red flag. That's what the red flag is. It's not that they never dated before. That's a red flag in itself. It's that you have to see if there is an actual red flag with the person. Most of the time, no. And if so, that's just your opinion. You take that as a red flag where most people don't. And if you think about it as not a red flag, you just don't like that. But it's perfectly fine. The fact that the person never dated before in itself is not a red flag. The red flag is that you think so. It's okay that you never dated before. So that was the encouragement that I wanted to give you non-daters, those who never dated before. Maybe you'll find someone. If you really want to date that badly, I hope so. Good luck. But if you never wind up finding anyone and you desperately want to, remember these things that I just said. Let that be your encouragement. I hope this was encouraging. Thanks for watching. Share this with a friend if they're in the same boat as you are. Like if this was helpful. Have a good day.